Today, former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter was sentenced to just 2 years in prison for fatally shooting Daunte Wright during a traffic stop last year. That was well below the state's recommended sentencing guideline of roughly between 6 and 8.5 years in prison. And even with that meager sentence, with good behavior and time already served, Potter could be back home with her family in just 14 months. 14 months for the shooting death of the 20-year-old Wright, who was pulled over for an expired registration tag and an air freshener hanging in the back windshield, which is all to say he was pulled over for driving while black. Wright was then shot in the chest and killed after Potter claimed she confused her handgun for her taser. 14 months in prison and a $1,000 fine is all that Wright's life was apparently worth in the state of Minnesota, which is why so many, but namely Daunte Wright's mom, could not call this justice.
Kim Potter murdered my son, and he died April 11th. Today, the justice system murdered him all over again. This is the problem with our justice system today. White women tears trumps.
Wow.
Trumps justice.
The light sentence comes on the heels of the Derek Chauvin trial, a conviction and sentence that some interpreted as a new era of accountability for police officers who kill black people. Today confirmed what many of us feared and already knew. Chauvin was a one-off. There was no accountability today. But that isn't where this story ends. We also saw on full display the imbalance of empathy that permeates this country based on the color of one's skin, this time by a judge who shed tears for the white killer, but not for the black victim or his family, while also gaslighting the entire country by using the words of Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, to urge everyone to empathize with Potter.
To those who disagree and feel a longer prison sentence is appropriate, as difficult as it may be, please try to empathize with Ms. Potter's situation. As President Barack Obama once said, learning to stand in somebody else's shoes, to see through their eyes, that's how peace begins. And it's up to you to make that happen. Officer Potter made a mistake that ended tragically. She never intended to hurt anyone. Her conduct cries out for a sentence significantly below the guidelines.
Joining me now is Ellie Mistal, justice correspondent for The Nation. So, Ellie, I asked my team to pull a couple of tweets that kind of summarized a lot of the feelings about this sentence. Pam Keith, military veteran Pam Keith, killing a black man gets you less time than accidentally voting while on probation as a black man. It's time for serious reform of the judiciary. No one who does stuff like this should be allowed to remain on the bench, talking about the judge. And Naveed Jamali, a friend of the show and Navy veteran, says it's not a sentence. It's an inconvenience. Your thoughts on this sentence?
Joy, this country hates us. This country hates black people, and we know it. We talk about it. We joke about it. We know what we're up against. But sometimes that hatred that this country has for us really comes out and just takes your breath away, just grabs you by the neck and just takes your breath away. And today, Judge Regina Chu was that hatred, that icy hatred around our throat. She was the spit in our face today. To have the unmitigated gall to stand up there, sit up there in her courtroom and plead, cry out for sympathy for the killer in front of that boy's mother. I don't have words to describe how offensive that is, how hurtful that is, how unjust that is, almost goes without saying. People are like, oh, she made a mistake, the Potter made a mistake. Yeah, we have a sentencing guideline for this kind of mistake. It's called 6 to 8 years. Why did she get 2 years? Somebody needs to answer me why she got 2 years. And of course, we all know why she got 2 years. Yeah. Because she was a crying white. That's why she got 2 years, and not the 6 to 8 years that her crime cried out for. Judge Chu wants us to look at things through Potter's eyes. I say no. I will look at things through Daunte's Wright's eyes. And I can imagine the last thing Daunte Wright saw. I've been in a situation where that might have been the last thing that I saw. So those are the eyes that I will remember. And I would encourage others to remember. And I would encourage others to reject Judge Chu and instead think about Daunte Wright.
There's a guy named Muhammad Noor, a former police officer, I believe in the same state, that was got 12 and a half years for accidentally, firing his weapon and killing a woman. She was a white woman from Australia. He's doing 12 and a half years for that. And I think about the people who voted thinking, well, I'm on probation, I'm out of prison. I served my sentence. I can vote now in Texas and get 5 years. Black woman got 5 years for voting. And then you think about what we talked about yesterday in New Jersey, where a black teen and a black teen and a white, or I think he's my white Latino teen, get in a fight, and literally the police say, no, that this isn't even about you. We're just really here about this black kid that you were just on top of punching. He's the one we're going to arrest. You're right. It's hard to walk away from the idea that the system has really trying to tell us, no, your lives literally are not valuable at all. They mean nothing.
As you know, I have 2 black sons, and I was telling you last night that I'm having difficulty trying to figure out when I can show him. I've got a 9-year-old. He's such a pleaser. He loves people, and people love him. And when do I show him your interview with Zakai? When do I show him Judge Chu's sentencing of Kim Potter? When do I tell my 9-year-old just how deeply this country hates him? When is it appropriate for me to explain to him that even should he be shot to death for an air freshener, this country will sympathize with his murderer? When do I bring that up to my boy? Because I have to tell him, I got to protect him. I've got to tell him at some point what this country will do to him. When is that appropriate to have that discussion? The people need to understand your interview with Zakai yesterday and this sentence are part of a continuum. They're on a linear track because it's the same thought process that led those cops to manhandling and physically restraining Zakai while letting the white kid walk away. That's the same thought process that Kim Potter had when she pulled out whatever she could find to make the black man stop, make him stop. That's all she cared about. She didn't care about his life. She didn't care about his health. Judge Chu, she wasn't trying to hurt him. No, she was trying to hurt him. We can debate what she was trying to hurt him with, but she was trying to hurt him. That's what happened. And it's what's gonna keep happening, because there are not enough people in this country who care about stopping it. Yeah.
Every word you said. I have said it in my own mind, too, because I have 3 black children as well. And it is something that we all have to face as the parents of black children, that once they walk away from us, there is no law enforcement, protect and serve. They're just at risk every moment that they're not physically in our arms. And it is quite a way to live. Elie Mystal, thank you, my friend.